What's going on, guys? How are you? How are you doing today? I want to show you a strategy that you can use and that is going to give you the minimum drawdown. So have you ever thought of a trade that you can enter and go straight right into profit? So today I'm going to show you such an entry, and you're going to pay attention on how to do it and take note of all the rules that we are going to be applying to get this zero drawdown strategy. Right. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be working with a strategy that is on this channel, right? So I'll link it in one of the corners right here, so that you know which strategy you're talking about. And here I'm going to talk about what you need to see, or what you need to wait for you to have a trade that goes straight into profit, right? So what we need to understand is very simple. We need to know what price is doing and what we intend price to do, right? So for example, let's look at this particular setup where we explained that price is going to break this trend line. After breaking this trend line, we expect a retest on the low or the high. So in this case, you are looking at this low, right? So the last low. So this is the low that you are looking for. We are not worried about price retesting this red trend line. Okay, so what we want to do is simple. We want to wait for price to break the trend line first, because breaking the trend line signifies a change of trend, right? And retesting a high or a low signifies a retest and a continuation in the direction that we want to go. So in this case, what we want to see is a retest of the yellow zone, which came, right? So the strategy entails you waiting for two. Remember, most of the times we wait for one candlestick to print into the direction that you want to go, right? So for example, if you want to sell, you would want to see a bearish sell candle, right? In this case, we want to sell, but we are not waiting for one candle. We wait for two, right? Because if you are trading these synthetic indices, right, they move, right? So when they move, they kind of trend for a long time, right? Especially on the lower time frames. So if you wait for two candlesticks, for example, if you look in this area, right, if you look in the area that we are inspecting here, if you look here, you see that whenever price retests that zone, it gives the bearish. So we are waiting for two bearish candlesticks, and you enter at this particular point, right? So you enter as soon as the second bearish candle or the second confirmation candle prints at this particular point. Your stop loss goes above, but you are entering at this, and it gives you minimum drawdown or zero drawdown, depending on the setup that you're looking for. So this is 101s, and as you can see, this we had one candlestick that went up, which is drawdown, right? So most of the times you are not going to get drawdown. Let me show you the examples on V251s. So on this particular chart here, we're using the strategy that you are using, where we are waiting for a trend break, right? And we go forward, we go for two candlesticks that print in the direction that we want to go. So in this case, after the retest of the yellow zone, as you can see, we see that price gave us two bearish candlesticks. So what you needed to do here is to spot these two candlesticks and enter at this particular zone. So if you enter after the second one closes, you see that price goes straight into profit, comes back minimally, and then gives you this run. So if you are someone who wants to stake, who wants to enter aggressively, someone who wants to enter many positions and things like that, this is what you want to wait for. Look at this trend line that was taken out, right? So this one, I want to take you step by step. So when it breaks, right, it comes and retests what the trend line or the lows that are in here. So here we didn't have a defined low for that matter, right? So we needed to be very, very vigilant. So when price comes to retest the yellow zone at this particular zone, it gives you one green candle, which is a bullish candle, right? So in this case, you are not going to take your trade after a close of this candle. You are waiting for another one so that you can take zero drawdown trades. But you see what price did? It came back again to retest the same zone. When it came back again, it gives you one, two. When it gives you the second one, that is your entry. So your entry was going to be at this particular point, and your stop loss is going to go at the base of the what? Of the first candle. Why? Because we are saying that if we enter here, price should go into profit almost immediately. So when price comes and breaks this candle, it means the setup has been invalidated. So you enter here and price goes in profit and comes back, and look at what price did. It will more often than not to give you what you want. Look at this particular one where price breaks this trend line, right? Breaks this trend line, and where is our low and the high? The yellow zone. So I want you to see, you need to see two full candles that come. So if you look at this particular zone, you see that the two candles came here and the stop loss was going to go above the what? Above this first candle. So when this happens, right? When this happens, you would have been taken out here because this pin came, and this candle we were not going to consider it because it was too big for what? For our entry. So we wait. When price comes back again for the third time, it prints a very beautiful two candles right here. So this is where you are going to be taking what? This is where you are going to be taking your sell position. Your stop loss goes on above the what? The first candle here. So this is your stop loss, this is your entry, and you are going to be considering a what? Taking profit at the next low or the next high. So this is what you need to be doing. Let me show you another very good example that we took advantage of days before. So we have this trend line, right? Price breaks the trend line, and we mark this as our high, and we are expecting price to come back to that particular high, right? So what do you see? You see that we can consider this low, right? We can consider this low at this particular zone. You see that there is a low or on this one, this low. This is the low that we are considering. So this is the break that we were waiting for. Price goes up again and retest a what? This candlestick. But we want to see price breaking this one, this yellow zone first before we engage at this particular zone, right? So when it breaks this zone, the yellow zone, price goes to retest, right? And you are waiting for two candlesticks, and the two candlesticks were here. If you open fire at this particular zone, you open or you risk 50% of your account there, now you are going to see nothing here. You're going to see blues as price goes, because you're going to be waiting for two candlesticks. So this is a very good example, and you can adjust your trend line to come here, break and retest and watch and go like that. This is a very good one that you could have taken advantage of had you known this earlier. So let's look at this one. This is a very good one again. Look at this. What do you see here? You see the price breaks and comes back to the what? To the lows that we are looking for here. So these are the lows that price comes back to, right? The lows. So if you were to considered like this, you can clearly see that this is where these two trend lines converge, right? It like this. So when price retests the yellow zone and the other trend line from the opposing end, right, what you are waiting for is the same thing. You are waiting for two candlesticks. Imagine if you had entered here, zero drawdown as price goes up, right? So you are going to wait for two candlesticks. After the second one, you are going to open fire. You're going to open fire, and you are going to kill the broker at this particular zone. You're not going to have any mercy after confirming with this one, with this simple strategy. You see, if you had opened fire here, you see what price would have done to you, and you open fire again on this other end, and you would have made yourself a fortune there. So this is a strategy that I'm using on Derif, and if you want to partake on that, you want to open an account with Derif, the links are in the description down below. You make sure you open your account, you fund your account, you join our Telegram group, and we can trade together. I will see you on the next one. Shocks up.